No, it's the little things. If you can't handle the little things, you will not be able to handle the big things. That's just how it is. So that means the small things matter. What is it essentially that you are looking for living this life? Regardless of how old you are right now, how much of where you want to go did you achieve already? And also, are you actually still finding yourself on the way to wherever you wanted to go? So first of all, before we even know which future direction you would like to go towards, number one is we need to know where are we actually standing right now. So to know where we're standing is, observe your surroundings. They can give you an indication where you are right now. Look around you. One indication. Second of all, look inside of you. How do you feel about the way of life that you are at the moment living? You had almost 365 days from that current year right now. How do you feel about it? Where did it brought you? Where did you decline? Where were you able to increase something about you? So number one is find out what is the status quo. Where are you located at the moment? And it is similar, like sometimes in a few Buddhist stories we are saying, before you know in which direction to sail, first of all, you need to know where you're located. Because the journey is not for everyone the same. In the way of what we are trying to share, we are trying to share methods, certain principles. But ultimately what needs to be done is that an individual person is starting to take all of these methods and applies them very specifically to your own personal way of, let's say, understanding. Because sometimes people ask, so I want to go to, let's just say, I want to go to New York. But one person is asking that question while he's located in the UK. And another person is asking me that question because he's located in Japan. That means the answer is not going to be the same. The goal is the same, but the answer that I would need to be given would be a different one. And therefore it is very, very similar to now people asking, so this and that is what I want. What should I do? I don't know. I can only give like the tools. I can only try to give some ideas and some ways of how you can use the mind to more intelligently approach that idea of fulfilling the goal. But the ultimate plan, which direction to travel, is something everyone personally must do. But therefore, in order for you to know, to now start and making up the plan where the journey is going to go, number one, we figure out what is our current state. The more you're able to let go, the farther you're going to proceed. So therefore, to your question, it is essential. The more your willingness and your ability to let go, the more changes are going to come. It's just like this. For new things to come, old things must go. And now, just as I mentioned, there is the willingness, first of all, to let go. And then there is your skill level, your abilities. Can you, even if you want? And there it is now also good to know. By practicing certain methods, Many of them that I told you already. Many of them that are also available. By using them, there is a certain degree that you can already help or support yourself in letting go, learning what does it mean to let go. But sometimes there are also things that have, let's say, that are caught within us, that you just cannot reach by yourself. And this is the moment where sometimes you need support. Where sometimes, even if the willingness is there, and you even maybe can see what it is that is stuck inside of you, but sometimes you need a person, more persons, or sometimes you need an additional support to get rid of it. So this is also important really to understand. Why is it that I'm always saying you do not want to make big jumps? You don't want to make huge changes. Why is it better to have like small steps, like with small milestones along the way? Because my observation so far is that if something within this world is changing too quickly, it either comes quick and therefore leaves quick, or it comes quick and then mostly it has a type of destructive character. So let's just take, for example, the earthquakes, the tsunamis, the volcano eruptions. No matter what it is, the bomb explosion. What does bomb explosion mean? There is something which is changing the status quo in a very short time, very dramatically. So huge changes in a short time is not what we want. What does it mean for us? Don't put unrealistic goals into your year where you actually already know, I could maybe achieve it, but therefore what? Therefore a lot of other things are going to be destroyed. A lot of other things are going to stop developing. And this is maybe not something that you want. So instead of making huge plans with huge steps, better think about how to structure your 24 hours and put a little bit of what you want to develop there inside that day. Because instead of huge steps, what we are using as a method is continuity. That one is your friend. Repetition is your friend. Not huge jumping. It is the repetition of things that starts to embody something inside of you. And if you have a goal, and if you know what type of skills, which tools you are going to need to make this goal become true, I do think you need to figure out how you're going to get to those skills, first of all, and then make a plan and invest in them. And at least in the Kung Fu training, it is like this, that we say some skills, they come after years of training. You might feel the benefit of a certain skill already pretty soon, but ultimately it's repetition. So, yes. One part of why we do have, for example, workbooks is because we want them not just to stay in the world of thinking about these things, thinking about the outcome and thinking about what they just felt, because to manifest them and writing them down gives another quality to it, let's say. And so therefore, yes, what you want, what you create in the mind, it's all about manifesting. Things that stay in the mind that do not manifest, it's good for one person itself, but maybe it doesn't benefit many more people because they don't see it. People can only see it if it is manifested. And the first way of bringing something from here out into this world is by writing it down or even speaking it on something that records it. What are your thoughts? Also meaning you can also manifest in the moment where you speak about your ideas to another person. Even that one is something that is starting to turn the wheel. So this is how I see, which is like part of the process in terms of when you want to make something become real. Why do you exchange ideas? Because sooner or later you want maybe some of these ideas to become real, that the idea starts to shape into a form. And how is it done? Some people write their ideas down, because from what is written down, something else is going to come out from it. Other people prefer to exchange these ideas with other people once again. But no matter how you do it, it must be something that it starts to take a shape. Yes. Whether it is, like I said, in terms of writing it down, speaking it on a recorder, or drawing it somewhere. But I do suggest that also now, in regards of starting the new year, it does help to write down on your refrigerator just a few bullet points. People might think, yeah, but that's, come on, it's so little. No, it's the little things. If you can't handle the little things, you will not be able to handle the big things. That's just how it is. So that means the small things matter. Even if last year nothing was written on your refrigerator, but this year you make up your mind, you make up your plan, and you put it there, visible every day. It matters. Sometimes we also have like Qigong classes. Yeah, Qigong classes, people sometimes nowadays still understood as working with energy. No. A lot of times when you go nowadays into so-called Qigong classes, you realize very often people are also having a background music playing at the same time. So there is music together with the practice. And if you ask then the people, so what's the point of like using the music? Then it certainly is because it is adding something to you. It is adding something where you know about if this is where you would like to go. You want to become a little bit more peaceful because you had a hard day. So we have peaceful music merged together with peaceful movements and merged together with a peaceful way of breathing, which does help. But as long as you are still dependent on the music, that means you can still not yet create that peace just by yourself. And now to that question, what does it mean? Of course you can have self-affirmations and use this as a method to push yourself because you want to achieve something. But from time to time, it's really necessary to test yourself. You talk to yourself, you give positive feedback to yourself, you give affirmations to yourself. You can create an image about yourself. And then from time to time, you need to make the test. If what you imagine to be is who you are. That is the important step. Because if you do not do the testing, then it's pretty easy that sometimes you're going to get lost. Lost in the world of your thoughts. that sometimes have nothing anymore to do with how life for you really is. You live in a dream world. You live in a fantasy world. This can happen very, very quickly if you are using too much of these type of methods. Music, self-affirmation, visualization, all of these things, if you do not test. If you test, you can use everything. Because from time to time, that test is just gonna show you, and that's where you really are. And then you readjust. But if you have all of these methods which pump you up, but you never do the testing, then I would say be careful about that one. But whatever is allowed to make you accomplish your job, use it. I have a lot of thoughts also. I have a lot of ideas. Partly, these are things now that sometimes come from me. At the same time, I also have, let's say, requests or ideas that are coming, let's say, from the outside being offered to me. So what I have sometimes at the end of the day is I can see in the mind those ideas. Now what I do first of all is I keep them within myself and do what I call, I contemplate, I think about them. But think about them deeply. Meaning, I take this idea, I look at where would that idea lead if I would now start with that current situation to invest energy in. And so what derives out from that is I'm starting to see pictures, I start to see a vision involving that idea in the future. And this I just do with everything that comes to my mind. And then see it in a bigger perspective of, is that now what I think the monastery, this community, or myself would in any way benefit from in order to make our mission more close to achieve, which means share more. This is how at the moment I'm planning my, let's say, I'm starting my projects. And once I'm clear for myself, this is the one I take. This is the one I take. Then meanwhile, I don't even have doubt that this idea in here will take reality. I don't even have that doubt that it will not take place. Because for me right now it is that I try with my intentions, just figure out right now who else, what else do I need, what is it that is in my hands right now to make that plan come true, which obstacles do I maybe have to remove, and which other people or other things do I maybe need to take in that idea. And then it starts. If I have some people on my mind, the writing starts, the contacting starts. If I see already, okay, there are a few obstacles right now we need to get rid of, then the daily work goes into, okay, remove the obstacles. And yes, and why I am saying that at the moment I am trusting this process so much, that I'm trusting that idea so much that it will become real, is because I'm clear of my intentions. And as arrogant as it sounds, but I do think that this intention is very much in line of what I think this world is needing right now.